Little intro. All right, welcome to YPN's Hot Seat. My name is Corey Whedon, mortgage lender with First Premier Bank, member of the YPN Steering Committee, and co-chair of the YPN Membership Committee. Each week, we bring you one of your fellow YPN members so that you can learn more about other members and tips or tricks in their success in business and life. Thank you for spending time with us. You can watch us on YouTube or Facebook every Friday at 12 noon. Remember, you can ask questions while we're live here with Robin, and we will make sure to get those asked throughout the interview while we have Robin here with us. They might not be right away, but we will get to them. Otherwise, make sure to leave a comment below and hit that like or subscribe button now. Robin, I'm super excited to hear more about you and your story. But first, why don't you start by telling us who you are, where you work, and what you do for a living?
Yeah, so thank you first off, Corey, for inviting me on the YPN Hot Seat. I really appreciate that. That's the first thing I do want to let you know. So my name is Robin Stoltman. I am an intuitive mindset mentor. I'm also a speaker. I'm a best-selling co-author and best-selling contributor to another book. I'm a certified hypnotherapist, certified NLP practitioner, certified heart math practitioner, and an independent John Maxwell team member.
Wow. Yeah. And you still have time to sleep at night? Huh? You still have time to sleep at night, huh?
I get about 5 hours a night.
Yep.
I'm not going. I'm busy up here working all the time. You know, about 6 a.m. is when I start in my office, and Tuesdays I don't go to bed until I don't get to go home until about 10.
Yeah, crazy, busy woman. That's awesome. Good for you.
Yes.
I want to start with your main career job. What you do every day. Obviously, you kind of touch base on everything every day, but your main job that you do of that whole list. What is that main job?
You know, a lot of it is my hypnotherapy. Okay. I love to help people with their mindset. And a lot of people, there's so many different myths about hypnosis. And so it's kind of like hard to describe just one thing because it's a lot of educating the general public about what hypnosis is versus what it isn't. And so that's like my main, this is what I do. I love my hypnotherapy and I love to be able to help parents, especially Christian moms who are dealing with the people pleasing and they just want to stop it. So it's helping Christian moms stop people pleasing and find their self-worth by removing those blocks that hold them back. That's like, I love doing that. The self-limiting beliefs. Yes.
And so hypnotherapy is basically somebody coming to you and correct me if I'm wrong because I might not understand it completely, but in a nutshell, using hypnosis to help free them from some of their troubles that they might be having. Is that?
It is. And it's the easiest way to explain it. I actually have something, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
The best way I can explain hypnosis and what I do, because I am South Dakota's only certified hypnotherapist. I went to college for what I do. And so I'm one that I'm very proud of what I do, who I can help, and how I help. And what I'm about to show you is called the theory of mind. And if all kids were taught this, I mean, we wouldn't need all the other therapy. It's that powerful because you realize, oh, that's where all my problems are. So let's start. Give me something that maybe you're struggling with.
That I'm struggling with. Crying of a baby. We have a 5-month-old at home, and she likes to cry for some reason. I don't know what it is. So we'll go with that. Crying of a baby.
Okay. Here, I thought you were going to say something easy like weight loss or the smoking.
Right? I am trying to lose, a little bit here and there.
We'll go with this one because this one actually helps because I have 5 kids under 5 years old, had 5 C-sections in the last 6 years. So we're doing good. Okay.
I've been trying to imagine, gosh, if we had to, how would we have the time? And, the crying thing, she doesn't cry a lot, but as a parent with 5 kiddos, how can you take the crying away? If it's pain, how can you take the pain away? If it's they just want to cry, you have to let them cry. let them just be who they are.
Yeah, you do. It does. And that's one of the things that I'm just like, as a parent, I've come up with a way how to have less stress. And that's actually one of the things that I love to be able to help parents with, is because I'm like, parenting is very easy. One, you cannot be their friend. You have to be the authority figure. You have to tell them, hey, this is how it is, and this is what we're doing. And like, for the age that you're describing, I have a daughter who is 6 months old. And even with her, I'm like, okay, we're doing this, but I have to separate myself from my work and from what I do, which is why I did have to get a physical office during the pandemic, because I'm like, this doesn't work. So I'm going to do the theory of mind, like I said. And so 95% is our subconscious mind. That's your habits, that's your behaviors, that's everything you are as a person that you cannot see. So like when you're stuck and like the crying, for example, because we're going to go with that. So like the crying, there may be something down here in your subconscious mind that you don't like the crying. But then also we are born with the fear of loud noises and falling. Those are the only two fears we're born with. So it could just be her loud noise from the crying that's setting it off in the primitive area of the mind. Like, I can't do this. I don't know what's going on. So then the subconscious mind could be dealing with that. But also the primitive mind, it has that fight, which is your normal day anxiety, the flight, which is your modern day depression, and then freeze, which is your modern day procrastination. So you got trouble in these different areas. I'm able to help with all of this, of course. And there's over 145 ways hypnotherapy is very beneficial to help people with. So like with the crying example, like I said, it could be down in this area. Or just as a child, if you were told not to cry, because, well, men, they're told not to cry, which is the worst thing you can do, is tell anybody to not cry. So that's going to be a known, is that when a person cries, that's not okay. The subconscious mind doesn't recognize whether or not that's true in this moment or not. It just knows that crying is not okay. So then it's like, okay, 95% says it's not okay to cry. And then what I do in hypnosis is I take this 5% of the conscious logic, reasoning, and willpower, and I say, okay, well, you want to be able to allow your child to cry because they need to. It's how our body's energy system works, which is why when you tell somebody not to cry, it's actually causing more harm than it is good. Because then that leads to body syndromes, that leads to the fibromyalgia, that leads to a lot of those things that we don't have to suffer with. That's a choice. Using hypnosis, you can take and bypass this critical mind filter that gets set up from the time of conception to about 8 years old. And when you bypass that critical mind filter in hypnosis, what it does is it makes it known that it's okay to allow that baby to cry, because it's nothing you're doing wrong. Because right now, like when your baby's crying, you're like, I don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. So it's an unknown. Anything that the brain does not know is considered danger to the brain. Because the brain's main goal, this subconscious mind, is to keep you alive, and it does not care how it has to keep you alive. It will keep you alive. Yeah. It will do anything and everything in its power to keep you alive. And so that's what I learned. And I'm like, that explains a lot of things in life that people are struggling with. I mean, like, it explains drug addictions. It explains just addictions in general. I mean, like, it explains a lot of things using this theory of mind.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you look at it. Yeah, I think so. And when you look at it and say, you know, that whole 95%, when you think of your history, when you think of your past, when you think of who am I as a person, what falls in that 95%? What falls in that, what was that top percent, 5?
That 5%. And like, then when you want to change something, like you want to be able to handle her crying better. Yeah. That's going to be your 5%, your logic, reason, willpower. I want to be able to handle the crying better, but I don't know how, but I know I need to fix something. Yeah. That's going it goes down to here then. So then hypnotherapy gets it into an alignment so that you're using 100% of your total mind's power.
Interesting.
Which is why it's so much more powerful than all the other modalities out there.
Yeah.
Like more than the prescription medications, more than a lot of things. And I'm not against prescription meds because there are some people that need them. But I will say this much, that a lot of my clients have not needed them after using the hypnotherapy.
Wow, that says a lot. And so, Robin, I do want to get into
Yep.
this. You know what, Robin? I want to try hypnotherapy. I want to come through and have my first session. What is that mindset where somebody says, this is what I want to do, this is something I should look into, versus going to a different place or starting to rely on some type of medication? What is that first step that I should say to myself, you know what, I should look at getting a little bit of help. I should maybe reach out to Robin and just say, hey, I'm curious about this. What does it take to get started? All of that.
Well, first off, I don't take insurance because I'm not able to, which is a good thing and a bad thing. You know, it depends on finances, you know, of course. So what I do is I go through a consult form to really know if it's something that, one, that I feel comfortable helping you with. And then two, I let you know about how many sessions you may need. There's some people like confidence that's usually about 5 to 6 sessions for confidence issues. And then some of the longer issues like weight loss, that's going to be more of that 3-month range where you need to have more help on that, because weight loss, believe it or not, is emotional. A lot of people, that's why they have these fad diets, because they think, oh, I'm going to do it and I lose weight and I'm great. And then next thing you know, it comes back because you have not dealt with the root emotional issue of it. So then when you choose to make that choice to move into that root issue, then that's when the magic happens, where you're able to let go of it and then keep that weight off.
And so when you say whether it's a 5-week thing or a 3-month thing, is it once a week or?
Yes.
Is it
Yeah, it's typically once a week. And if you want to be able to spread it out after the initial 5 sessions, then we can spread it out like every other week. But it's best to do it weekly right away to start with, just so that you're getting the optimal, this is going to help you the most. And then I do include the recording part of the session for you to take home and listen to between sessions to help reinforce the new behavior that you want. Yeah. Because how I do things, I don't read a script, not all the time. A lot of the times I'm just tuning into you and to what you want. And then you tell me what you want and I give it back to you to make that suggestion even stronger.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. And I know one of the biggest things, because I do really want to touch on another piece that you mentioned of what you do. But confidentiality, one of the biggest things that a lot of people have with any type of business that might be in the mentorship or might be in the therapy session is, what is the confidentiality that you have?
Well, I'm going to let you know legally in South Dakota that if I am having to go into court, I can be subpoenaed and I can bring my records, which is why I don't keep a lot of notes, if that makes any sense. Yep. I also, we're not bound by HIPAA or any of that, but me, I'm like, I think about other people and I would not want anybody telling the next person what I just told somebody else. So no, I don't do that. And my privacy policy is very simple. It's if you don't seem, like if we're out and about and I see you and I'm like, oh, hey, Corey, I'm not going to be like that. I'm like, I don't know you. I've never met you. I just walk past you unless you initiate the contact, because to me, I do unto others as I'd want them to do to me. And so I am very respectful of privacy. I am very, I don't know like the right words to use, like for how I describe myself. My husband would describe me as crabby and irritable on how I keep things. But yep. No, I am very much, I keep your privacy. I keep different things. I don't like to keep that client data if I don't have to, because I like to keep it stored. I keep it away from my personal stuff. I keep it all separate because I'm working on you at your time. This is you and this is me. But if I need to bring in some of my own life experiences, I will, just to help.
Cool.
I hope that helps. I'm not.
I think so. One of the biggest things is my wife's a pharmacist, so the confidentiality is there, but it is due to HIPAA, so it's a little bit different. But she's the same mindset of, if I see you out and about, I don't know you. Sorry, I'm going to ignore you. But if you say hi to me first, then let's have fun. Let's have that conversation. Let's say hi, exchange, thoughts and comments and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I think that's super cool. We have about 10 minutes. Time goes by so fast. But yes, 10 minutes before we get into our rapid fire questions. But with those 10 minutes, I really wanted to bring up that you mentioned you're a co-author of a best-selling book.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and what is that book called? Unstoppable. You were made
unstoppable. Yes. And so it's written by it's a Nim Stant book. And so I met her because I have been working with celebrities. I don't tell people that a lot because you got to sign those NDAs, so it's like, I don't tell people these things. Yeah. But anyways, I met her through a super actor, which is a company that I'm working with. And so I'm right here on the book here, my name. And so what I have in here is my story about why I moved to South Dakota, why I became the mindset mentor that I am, and why I really decided to go all in on what it is that I do in helping other people. Because I got broke down pretty good when I left Minnesota. And so my story is in here about what happened.
Oh, cool.
And then,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And then I have another book that I'm in as well, too, called Naturally Conceived. And so I talk about my story about how I was told I'd never be able to have children. And here I am 6 pregnancies later, like, where was that true? I found a lot of it's that self-healing that I had to do and overcome the PTSD. Like, I no longer have PTSD. I no longer have fibromyalgia. And so it's a lot of those letting it go. That's why I love helping people with this. Because it's like, I'm able to have children. I'm able to do more. I also should let you know too, because I know nobody can tell right now, like when you look at me, that I actually did have a severe front right lobe traumatic brain injury when I was 16. And that was in 2003. Or 2002, I mean. And it's already, 2021, and it's been 19 years. And I've healed from that. Wow. So for me to do what I'm doing shows the power of the mind.
Yeah, it really does. And I think that's a very, a piece that a lot of people will kind of push to the side. And when they work on certain things, a lot of people don't work on the mind. It's, I want to work on my physical looks, or I want to work on something side object wise versus myself and my mind.
Yeah.
So cool. I didn't know you had a second book. That's really cool. If anybody was looking to buy one of those books, where would they find them?
You can find them either on my website, or you can find them on Amazon.
Okay.
Or you can stop by in my office and be able to pick them up. Of course, I live in Watertown, but I do go to Sioux Falls from time to time.
Okay, cool. And I did actually look up You Were Made to Be Unstoppable. I didn't know about the other one, so I apologize for not looking that one up. But I do want to give you a little bit of a plug on the You Were Made to Be Unstoppable. It was published just beginning of this year, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so it's pretty fresh, pretty new. And on Amazon, it was actually 4.9 out of 5 stars and only about 270 pages. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is.
So kind of a shorter read, which is, anybody can pick that up and get through it pretty quickly. So that's awesome. I did see, for anybody that's out there that might be interested in the You Were Unstoppable, and you can talk about the Naturally Conceived one, but it was the You Were Made to Be Unstoppable was $30 on Amazon for the paperback, or free if you have Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, jump in there, take a listen to it. I'm actually interested. I had the Kindle Unlimited, so I might jump on and take a little listen to that. Do you want to talk about the Naturally Conceived one real quick?
Yeah, this one just has like my PTSD story in it, and how I overcame that PTSD that I was dealing with, and how once I released that, I was able to have children.
Okay. Interesting. Now we have about 4 minutes left. And so I do want to just touch base on a couple of other things with you, because you are a very successful person. Oh my gosh, you do so much with the small amounts of time that we have every day. You do so much in those days. What is success to you, and what drives you to that success every day?
One of my friends had asked me that, and I told them, I says, well, to me, I already see myself as successful. Yeah. I mean, like, I've got my husband that deals with me on my bad days and my craziness at times. Then I've got my family, but, he told me the definition of success, and I really, really like it. His version is that every day, as long as I'm doing something better than what I was yesterday, that is success, because I'm still progressing. I'm still doing better than what I did, and I'm still growing. So to me, that is success. As long as you're making that progress, that's what it is.
That's super cool. And that's, it says a lot. As long as you're growing, you're being successful. It could be a little grow, or it could be a huge leap. Publishing a co-author of a best-selling book, that's a huge leap. That's success. But there's also all these other successes every single day.
You don't want to know all the other media I've been in. I've been in a lot of media, like Authority Magazine, and I've been on international podcasts on 2 of them. I have my own podcast, so I do a lot of different things. But
you have your own podcast?
Yeah, I do. It's Healing for the Soul.
Okay, Healing for the Soul. And pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast, I'm guessing that we can jump on there and listen to it.
Yes, it's on iTunes.
Okay, perfect. Do you want to give a little rundown on what that's about?
Yeah, so what it is I just basically, like, my format, when people ask me to be on my show, I'm like, my format is I just want to talk about parenting and how it's helped you, or different things that you've learned as a parent. Like, I had one lady on there for emotional intelligence and how that can be applied to kids. And like, this is what kids are missing. Yeah. They are missing that honesty of how to feel good about themselves, and, being able to help that out. And then like on Wednesdays, it's going to be more of, this is how to help build your wealth as a parent. Okay. Because once you fix this mindset, it's like everything just happens.
That's super cool. Gosh, just when I think you're too busy, you add something else in there.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of things that some days I don't think I'm doing enough.
I think you're definitely doing enough.
I'm working on getting speaking engagements, so it's like, no, I want to do more. Yeah, I have a bigger impact that I know for a fact I'm going to make. It's just making it happen.
Yeah, making it happen is just tough sometimes. But if you need a little kick in the butt to really make things happen, hypnotherapy. Just saying, for everybody out there. So we are just about 5 minutes out from the time that we have for this. So I did want to give a quick rapid fire session. We get a lot of comments that people really like this rapid fire. So we're going to go through 20 questions really fast. Name them as best as you can, as quick as you can. And if there's something interesting in there, we might even ask about it afterwards. But Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. Robin Stoltman, hot seat, rapid fire 20 questions. Here we go. Dog or cat?
Cat.
Cat. Okay. Netflix or Hulu?
Hulu.
Call or text?
Call.
Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Ice cream or snow cone?
Ice cream.
Music or podcast?
Music.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
High tech or low tech?
Low tech.
Work hard or play hard?
I don't know. If you ask me, I'm gonna go with neither, because I don't know. I don't.
Okay.
I work hard. I work very hard. With that.
Hamburger or taco?
Taco.
Taco. There you go. Online shopping or in store?
I like in store a lot better.
Okay. Coke or Pepsi?
Neither one.
Neither. Okay. Iced or hot coffee?
Hot coffee.
Save or spend?
I do both.
TV or book?
I'd rather spend it though.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. TV or book?
Book.
Okay. City or countryside?
Country.
Winter or summer?
I like summer.
Beer or wine?
Neither one.
Neither one. Show or movie?
I'd probably say show.
Okay. Off the clock or morning mingle? YPN events.
I'm trying to think. I didn't get your. What was it? Sorry, I got
Off the clock
overloaded.
or
Sorry.
morning mingle?
Morning mingle.
Morning mingle. There you have it. 20 questions with Robin Stoltman. Made it through all 20. Some of those were pretty interesting. One of the goals of the hot seat is to get to know you as a person. And I think by talking about your hypnotherapy, by talking about your books, hearing in a nutshell your story with PTSD and all this stuff that you've gone through when you were 16 to now, it really says a lot of who you are as a person. So I hope it's okay that we spend a lot of time on those and talking about these 20 questions. You're a Hulu person and a show person, correct? I think those are the two that you went with. What's your favorite show right now?
Mine is All in the Family. I don't watch a lot of the new shows because I hate TV.
Yeah.
I hate TV and movies. If they all stopped existing, I'd be the happiest person on the planet. But my old time shows I like All in the Family, Golden Girls. I'm more of a classic, traditional type of person.
Back in the day, I remember watching Golden Girls and I Love Lucy growing up.
Lucy's another good one.
Yeah, it's another good one, but they're kind of the same time period and all that stuff. I actually didn't know that Hulu had, some of those older shows.
It has the one that I grew up with, Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Right.
I loved that one growing up.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
And did you try watching the new one on Netflix?
I have not yet. No.
Oh, okay. There's a new one. I don't know if I'm a big fan of it, but it's different. It's different. Definitely some classics. Before we get heading out, we have about 2 minutes left here. Before we get heading out, though, I do want to mention that next week, Josh Muckenhern, vice chair of the YPN, will actually be live with Ellie Gronendijk. I'm sorry, Ellie, if I butchered that last name. Gronendijk. A lot of you may know Ellie. She's very involved with YPN, but she is a human resources with Raven Industries, and she's also getting super involved with the community and all of this stuff. You probably know her. If you don't know her, absolutely come to a YPN event. Meet her. She's a lot of fun. It's one you will want to watch, see live, and ask those questions, any human resources questions that you might have, or all that fun stuff that Raven is doing these days. Tune in with that. Josh is there. But Robin, we are out of time. We're running on the last minute here. I want to give you a chance to plug. How can people get a hold of you? How can they find you? How can they set up, hey, Robin, when you're in Sioux Falls, I want to have a hypnotherapy session with you. If they're in Watertown, where can I come find you? All of that stuff. How can people get a hold of you and connect?
The best way is going to be my cell phone, which is the 320-460-0272. And I do sessions online all the time. This is actually how I learned how to do hypnotherapy, was online. So when I've had people in office, I'm like, okay, a little bit different. This is a different shift, but I've made it happen. So anyways, it's 320-460-0272. It's the best way to get a hold of me. Otherwise, you can follow me on Instagram at The Healing for the Soul.
Okay, and people can find you on iTunes, and the name of your podcast again is
Healing for the Soul.
Healing for the Soul, and you're the two books that you are a co-author of.
Yes. You were made to be unstoppable and naturally conceived.
Okay, and you can find those can you find both of them on Amazon?
Yes, because this one I'm a contributor to, but this is a best-selling title as well.
Okay, perfect. So if anybody out there wants to just reach out to Robin and maybe just say, hey, I'm struggling with this. Is it something you can help me with? Feel free to reach out to her. She gave you her cell phone. You can call her, text her. You can email her at the email that we have on the phone. But Robin, I really want to thank you for spending time with us. And thank you so much for what you do, for the world. I mean, you're definitely making people's lives better, and you're helping people grow to that next step. So thank you so much for everything you do for everybody out there, and for also joining us.
Well, thank you so much, Corey. I really appreciate, like I said, being able to be on the YPN Hot Seat. I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And I look forward to everybody that I do get to help, because it's like the changes are very fast. I'm not going to lie. They're very rapid. The changes are. But when it happens, then you're like, where have I been all my life? And I'm like, I'm right here. I can help.
Yeah.
All you have to do is pick up the phone and call or text.
Text or even send an email. You guys have the email on
Yes.
the screen. Just rewind and see what that is. Robin, thank you so much for joining us today. If you guys see Robin at one of the YPN events, go up, talk to her, chat with her, get to know her a little bit more. Great person. But Robin, we will talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.